the princess with no future. The great palace of the Sun Crown Empire always shined with golden light, but on this day, the hall felt dark. Princess Mira walked alone through the long pillars, her steps slow, her eyes heavy. Everyone in the empire knew the truth now. She could not give an heir. For the royal family, this was not only shame, it was political danger. Mira had been tested by every healer, every machine, every ancient tradition. Nothing worked. Her father, King Orion, had tried to hide it at first, but rumors grew. Soon the entire court watched Mira as if she were broken glass, delicate, useless, easily replaced. And the king was furious. Not at her, but at fate itself. Still, Mira felt the anger hit her every day like a cold wind. Every council meeting, every banquet, every parade, she felt eyes judging her. The king wanted an alliance with humanity, a rising power from Earth, known for turning hopeless fights into victories. Humans were strange to alien empires. Dangerous, unpredictable, stubborn, emotional, yet powerful in ways no one understood. So when the humans arrived for a diplomatic exchange, the empire prepared a grand welcome. But Mira was given a cruel role in that ceremony. She was to be presented as a gift. Not a wife. Not a partner. A symbol of unity between the worlds. In truth, the court believed giving away an infertile princess was safe. No heir could ever come from her. No new bloodline could threaten the empire. But fate enjoyed surprises. Captain Lena, a human representative, stepped off the human shuttle with steady confidence. She was not dressed like a warrior, yet her posture showed discipline. Her eyes moved across every corner of the hall, reading danger like a book. Humans had that strange instinct, always alert, always aware. Behind her stood other human delegates, quiet, respectful, but ready. When the ceremony began, King Orion rose from his throne, voice strong and practiced. Today, he announced, we honor this alliance with a precious offering, my daughter, Princess Mira. The hall stirred. Mira lowered her head, feeling heat rise in her chest. She had no choice. The empire expected her to obey. But humans didn't react the way the court expected. Captain Lena blinked, confused. She whispered to her companion, a person is not something you gift. The human group exchanged looks, offended, surprised, even angry. Mira noticed. For the first time in years, she felt someone react for her instead of against her. King Orion continued the speech, pretending not to see the human discomfort. She will join your people as a sign of trust. Lena stepped forward slowly. She didn't speak loudly, but every word hit the room like a strike. With respect, humans do not take people as gifts. The court gasped. Guards tensed. The king's face hardened. Do you refuse the alliance? King Orion asked sharply. No, Lena said. But we refuse to treat a living person as an object. Her voice was calm but unbreakable. Mira looked at Lena with sudden hope flickering inside her chest. No one had defended her like that in years. King Orion forced a smile that was not a smile at all. Very well. Then consider her, an honored guest. A polite way of saying, take her anyway. Lena nodded slowly, reading the room. She knew refusing would cause a political incident. She also understood the princess was trapped. So Lena approached Mira directly. Up close, she could see the tiredness in the princess's eyes, the silent plea hidden behind royal discipline. Lena spoke gently. Do you want to go with us? Mira's breath trembled. The entire hall fell silent. Aliens did not ask royalty what they wanted. But humans did. And the question hit Mira deeper than she expected. She whispered, yes. Not because she wanted to leave her home. Not because she trusted humans yet. But because this was the first choice she had been given in forever. Lena nodded and offered her hand, not demanding, only inviting. Mira placed her hand in Lena's. Every person in the hall watched in shock. Humans always broke expectations somehow. When Mira boarded the human ship, she expected cold metal walls and strict military rules. But she found warmth instead, soft lights, gentle greetings, small smiles from the crew. Humans treated her like a real person. They asked if she was hungry. If she needed rest. If she was comfortable. No one looked at her with disappointment or pity. For the first time, Mira felt she could breathe. But deep inside the palace, King Orion's calm mask shattered. His council rushed to him. "Your Majesty, the humans accepted her. Without resistance. They will keep her safe." But the king didn't hear them. He stared at the empty place where his daughter once stood and whispered to himself. She was infertile, so how can they create an heir? Then anger lit his eyes with fire. Unless, he growled. A new fear formed in his mind. Humans were known for doing the impossible. And suddenly, the king was terrified. The human bond. Princess Mira sat in her new room on the human ship, staring at the small window that showed endless stars. She had traveled through space before, but this time felt different. This was not a royal mission. This was escape. Captain Lena had given her privacy, warm food, and a soft bed. But Mira could not sleep. She kept thinking about her father's face before she left, calm on the outside, burning on the inside. He wouldn't let this end quietly, she thought. Humans had saved her from humiliation. That alone was enough to make her loyal. But she didn't know what they truly wanted from her. She didn't know how long this peace would last. A soft knock came at her door. "Princess. May I come in?" It was Darrow, a young human officer with gentle eyes. He carried a small tablet and a nervous smile. "Yes," she said. Darrow stepped inside carefully, as if he didn't want to disturb anything. "I was asked to check on you. Captain Lena thought you might want someone to talk to." Mira looked down. "Your people treat me too kindly." "That's normal for us," Darrow said with a simple shrug. "You're a person. You deserve respect." Mira almost laughed. "In my world, being a princess does not mean respect. It means being useful. And I was not useful." Darrow frowned. "Who said you weren't useful?" "The Empire," Mira whispered. "My father." Darrow sat in a chair across from her. "Well, the Empire sounds wrong." Mira blinked. No one had ever spoken about her father like that. But humans didn't fear kings. They feared injustice. Over the next days, Mira slowly learned human life. Their food was simple but warm. Their rooms were small but cozy. Their officers spoke casually, even to their leaders, something Mira found shocking but comforting. One morning, Captain Lena invited her to the command deck. "We will arrive at Earth in 3 days," Lena said. "We want you to feel safe." Mira nodded, though her heart raced. "What will happen to me there?" "You will live freely. No duties, no forced alliances." Mira hesitated. "And if my father demands my return?" Lena's eyes hardened. "We don't hand people over to danger." There it was again, humans protecting her without expecting anything. As Mira looked through the main window into the stars, Darrow approached with a datapad. "You want to see something cool?" he asked. Without waiting, he pressed a button. A hologram expanded, Earth. Blue oceans, green continents, white clouds swirling gently across the surface. Mira stared, breath caught in her throat. "It's beautiful." "Home," Darrow said proudly. Why did your people help me?" Mira asked softly. Darrow looked thoughtful. "Because we know how it feels to fight for our place in the galaxy. We know what it's like to be underestimated. And, because everyone deserves a chance to choose their life." Mira felt something warm growing in her chest, a feeling she had almost forgotten. Hope. But hope was fragile. A sudden alarm echoed through the ship. Red lights flashed. Lena's voice filled the hull. "Attention crew, we have an incoming transmission from the Sun Crown Empire." Mira froze. Her father. The crew gathered in the communication chamber. Mira stood near the back, hands shaking. The screen lit up. King Orion appeared, eyes sharp like blades. "Humans," he said coldly. "You have taken what belongs to my empire." Lena stepped forward. "With respect, your majesty, your daughter came with us by her own choice." The king's voice thundered. "She is my daughter. She carries royal blood. Return her immediately or face consequences." The human crew exchanged uneasy looks. Darrow moved closer to Mira, almost protectively. Lena kept her voice calm. "She is safe here. And she is not your property." King Orion's jaw tightened. "Do you think I care about your human words? You misunderstand everything." His eyes burned with something Mira had never seen before, fear. Then he said the line that changed the entire room. "You cannot keep her. She is infertile. She cannot produce an heir. She is useless to me, but she could be a threat if your people fix her." The human crew went completely still. Mira felt the entire world tilt. "Fix her? Your technology is unpredictable," Orion continued. "You humans solve impossible things. If she becomes fertile under your care, if she produces an heir with your people, do you realize what that would mean?" Lena's voice dropped to steel. "We don't experiment on people." "You don't need to experiment," the king snapped. "Humans bond, humans adapt, humans heal. I have seen the reports. I know what your species does." Then his face twisted in open fear and fury. "If she gives birth to a child with human blood, that child could claim the Sun Crown throne. That cannot be allowed." Myra's heart stopped. She had never felt so exposed, so powerless, so angry. Darrow stepped forward. "She isn't going anywhere. And we are not afraid of you." Orion's voice turned into a roar. "Then I will come for her myself." The transmission cut. Silence filled the ship. Lena slowly turned to Mira. "We'll protect you. No matter what." But Mira only whispered, voice trembling. "My father won't stop. He thinks I will give you an heir." Darrow looked at her, eyes steady. "Then we stop him first." And in that moment, something new formed inside Mira, not fear, but strength. Maybe humans hadn't just saved her. Maybe they were about to fight for her. The choice that shook two worlds. Almost equals 770 words, HFY style, simple English, third person. The human ship moved through deep space with quiet speed, but nothing felt quiet inside Princess Myra's mind. The message from her father still replayed in her head. "If she gives birth to a child with human blood, that child could claim my throne." It was strange. Mira had lived her whole life believing she could never have children. That she was broken. Worthless. Now her father feared she might produce an heir with humans. The idea sounded impossible. But the fear in the king's voice was real. Captain Lena called the senior crew and Mira to a private meeting room. The lights were dim, the mood tense. Lena began. "The Empire is mobilizing ships. Not many yet, but enough to show they're serious." Mira felt cold. "He will not stop. My father never loses anything he believes is his." Darrow leaned forward. "You're not an item. And he can't order us around." Lena nodded. "We have two options. One, we keep traveling to Earth and prepare for diplomatic pressure. Two, we take a hidden route through the nebula belt and reach the Soul Defense Ring. Faster, safer, but dangerous if they chase us. Mira straightened. Why do this for me? Lena looked at her with steady eyes. Because you chose us. And because no one owns you. Those simple words hit Mira deeply. She had never been chosen. She had never been free. She had never felt like a real person. But now, she did. The ship turned toward the nebula belt. Blue and purple clouds of cosmic dust swirled like a living storm. The engines hummed louder as the human crew braced for turbulence. Mira stood beside Darrow at the viewing window. He noticed her shaking hands. You scared? Yes, she whispered. And angry. And confused. Darrow nodded. Normal human feelings. Mira gave a small smile. Maybe I'm becoming a little human. Not a bad thing, he said. She looked at him closely. Do you believe what my father said? That I could one day have an heir? Darrow paused. I don't know. But I believe this: humans help others heal. Not through machines. Through care. Myra's breath caught in her throat. Then maybe, in time, anything is possible. He smiled gently. Exactly. Suddenly the ship shook violently. Warning lights flashed red. Enemy ships on our tail, a voice shouted over the comms. 3 Sun Crown vessels incoming. They're locking weapons. Mira felt her heart drop. They had come for her. Lena jumped into command mode. Shields up. Evasive pattern Delta. The human ship darted through the nebula's twisting clouds. Ion blast streaked past, lighting up the darkness. The Empire's ships were larger, stronger, and heavily armed. But humans were unpredictable. Activate slipstream jump. Lena ordered. Can't. Too much interference, the navigator replied. Mira grabbed the edge of a console. My father will destroy your ship. He will not care if I am on it. Darrow shook his head. We'll protect you. Even if he brings the whole Empire. A powerful blast hit the human ship. Sparks flew. The hull groaned. Lena gritted her teeth. Prepare counterfire. The ship's cannons lit up, firing sharp bursts of blue plasma. They struck the lead Empire ship, forcing it to slow. But the second and third ships moved around, closing in. Mira felt helpless. Completely powerless. She had caused this conflict. Humans were risking their lives because of her. I should surrender, she whispered. I can end this. No, Darrow said firmly. He doesn't want you safe. He wants control. Giving yourself to him won't stop anything. Another blast shook the floor. Then Mira felt something inside her, a spark. A strength she didn't know she had. My father fears a child I do not even have, she said softly, but what he should fear is my choice. She stepped toward the command platform. Captain Lena. I want to speak to my father. Lena hesitated, then nodded. Bring up the channel. The screen crackled to life. King Orion appeared, eyes burning with fury. Mira, he snapped. Return to your ship. Now. Myra's voice was steady. I am not returning. Orion froze, shocked. You are my daughter, he growled. You obey me. No, Mira said firmly. For the first time in my life. I choose myself. The room went silent. And I choose the humans who protected me. Who treated me like a person. Who asked what I wanted. Orion clenched his fists. They are twisting your mind. Mira shook her head. No. They opened it. Darrow stepped beside her, not touching, but standing like a shield. Orion's eyes darkened. If you stay with them, you will become part of their world. You will have no place in mine. Mira lifted her chin. Then I accept that. The king roared in rage. Then the Empire declares. Lena cut the transmission before he finished. Then she turned to Mira and said softly. You just made the bravest choice I've ever seen. Minutes later, human reinforcements arrived, fast, silent, deadly. The Sol Defense Fleet had traced their emergency signal. Dozens of human warships emerged from the nebula like ghosts. The Empire ships fled instantly. Humans had arrived, and they did not lose. When the ship finally reached Earth, Mira stepped onto the blue planet with trembling feet. But she wasn't afraid. For the first time in her life, she felt like she belonged somewhere. Darrow walked beside her. Welcome home, he said. Mira looked at the sunrise, golden and warm. Maybe, she whispered, this is where my new life begins. And far away in the stars, a furious king realized something terrifying. The daughter he once called Infertile had finally grown powerful enough to choose her own future. And humans would defend that future with everything they had.